So this week's video is for you if you're clear on what you want to do, but you're just struggling to get clear on your niche. And if so, you are like a few people that I've talked to in this group over the last month. So I know this is a really, really important point to hit. Because chances are, I mean, what you do could help all sorts of people. It's just that, which would be the most successful for you. And, won't you get bored if you narrow yourself down like that? So how do you actually choose? Okay, back when I was working in the fashion industry, we were all about branding and finding the perfect ideal customers. And since I was in charge of copywriting, it was my job to make sure we were actually speaking to them. So I want to share with you what I learned in the fashion industry, what all of those high expensive consultants were telling us to do, and then also what's worked for me and for my clients. So most people, when they think about niching, the first thing they think about is demographics. And demographics are things like, the age, the sex, where people live. And an example of that would be, if I'm a business coach, I help women copywriters in their 30s, right? Or maybe even in the New York metro area, if you want to get really, really specific. So that is an option. Obviously, there's a reason that's been around for so long. And that's definitely an option, but there are some problems with that, a couple that come to mind. One is that if you are a multi-passionate person that really wants to make a big impact, then it can be really frustrating to have to like segment yourself in that way to just a specific type of person. And also, if the problem is that nowadays the lines are blurring so much. So in the old days, you might have been able to say that in the old days, right? In the days of like Mad Men marketing back in the 40s, you might have been able to pinpoint those people really clearly. But now the problem is that a woman who's 30 years old in New York City may have more in common with a woman who's 50 years old in LA than she does with another 30-year-old down the block or another 30-year-old in Connecticut or whatever. I mean, you get the point. So now a more sophisticated and a more powerful way to think about niching instead of demographics is in terms of psychographics. Psychographics just means what those people have in common psychologically. And the quickest way, hands down, to get in touch with what people are thinking psychologically is just to ask yourself, what benefit are they looking for? And what very specific, um, uh, very specifically what they're searching for. That's the top question you can ask yourself. So an example for that may be, if you're getting really specific, like I want to help people that want to stop binge eating after 8 p.m. That's it. I don't really care who they are. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what kind of job they have. I don't care what they do, but they all have this common problem, which is that they want to stop binge eating after 8 p.m. And I mean, obviously you can do a combination of the two, but so many people leave out that psychographic portion, and that really should be the first thing that you think about before you go on to demographics. So an example for that is my business. I help women who are searching for clarity, who really want to get clear. They want to get clear on what business to start. They want to get clear on how to grow it. But the common denominator really is that clarity piece. And then the whole women thing, that came later. So that was a way of niching down that bigger picture idea a little bit more. It wasn't necessary, but it was a choice that I chose. And so really start with that. But the last thing I'm going to say is that so many people focus when they're starting out on what is the smartest thing to do, and you've got to stop thinking that way. Because really, the most important thing comes from these three questions. And number one is, what will further my mission? So knowing what your bigger picture mission is will help you decide which of the many different groups and different ways you could be thinking about niching will help you further that mission in the best possible, most efficient, most effective way. And the second thing is, what do you feel the most excited about? I mean, this is something you're going to be talking about, writing about, getting excited about for the next couple of years. So it has to be something that you actually want. And too often people put their own wants on the back burner because they're trying to get out of a 9 to 5 or they're trying to be smart about something. And then the last one is, who do you really want to work with? Because so often we get in this trap of thinking, oh, these people may need my services the most. This is the group that I should be helping. But the truth is, they may be a real drag to work with. And you deserve to really enjoy the work you're doing. And that's what's going to light you up. And that's what's going to bring you the most customers. So when people are thinking about the smartest niche or the smartest business, really it comes down to them not believing that the truth is that they can have a business around anything they want if they just learn how to market it well. If they learn those marketing skills, then really you can have a business around anything. And it's very hard for us to believe at the beginning, but that's why my clients are so successful. It's because they're really grounded in their mission. They're really clear on who they want to work with. And so when they start speaking about it, they have that fire and that passion, and it attracts people to them. Because honestly, people know when you're really not into it or when you're just trying to make a buck. And it's not going to pay off in the long run. Trying to be smart about things won't pay off the same way that these other things that I've shared will. So one is, of course, your mission. Number two is who you're excited about. Number three, or what topic you're excited about, what you're excited about talking about. Number three is who you actually really want to work with. And then thinking through the psychographics rather than just relying on the demographics. And if you are thinking, okay, sure, but how do I get clear on my mission? And once I know my niche and my mission, how do I get those people to say yes? Like, how do I nail that marketing piece? Just want to let you guys know, a little preview. I'm coming out with this epic masterclass that I'm really excited about called The 3 Secrets to Total Business Clarity. And it's going into detail on the right business and niche, exactly how to figure out what'll make your customers say yes, and then how to figure out what you should be focusing on. Because for a lot of us, it seems like there's a million different options and we can't get clear in our business on what steps we should be taking each day, we should be doing. So those are the 3 like angles of clarity that I'm going to be talking about. It's going to be exciting. If you are interested in that, you can always shoot me a message, leave a comment here, and get on my list, because we know Facebook algorithms, just unfortunately being in this group, you may not get notified when it comes out. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for coming on live. If you have any questions about any of this, you can just leave a comment here, or pop up and say something right now. I'm always happy to hash things out in real time with you guys. And I know there's a delay, but it doesn't look like there's any questions. So I wish you all a great rest of your week. Bye.